여러분들 게임 해봅시다. 오늘 나왔어요. 오늘 나와갖고 한번 해보죠. 야, 근데 오랜만에 추리 게임 하니까 너무 어렵다. 와, 사실 다시 하는 거예요, 여러분들. 와, 얼마나 버벅거렸는지 난리도 아님. 어우, 그렇군요. 우크라이나의 사람들이 만든 거군요. 뭐고?
Dr. Watson, would you kindly close the door behind you so that we can limit the price of your carelessness to merely hours of work rather than days?
My apologies, Mr. Holmes. I found myself rather taken aback. I saw tidier houses in war-torn Afghanistan. Are those my surgical needles?
I ran out of tacks and the matter required immediate attention.
Was that my supper?
Plainly not, for I was the one who ate it.
I set it aside for this evening.
And for that I am grateful.
Is that my bed?
Watson, since you've proven yourself a master of observation, might I ask you to apply your skills to a more pertinent question? Namely, the whereabouts of today's newspapers. They are the key to everything. The newsboy is usually reliable.
Medically speaking, I often find that the key to everything is good sleep. In a bed. Your papers are here, on the table.
Let us see what the postman brought today. Local gossip, all of it uninteresting. Your order from Barnes' bookshop has arrived, Doctor.
Barnes insists on delivering the books to our door, even though we could easily walk to his shop. That's good
Another
service.
letter from Werner. I never reply, but they keep coming. I don't see the Strand. Where is it?
Pardon me?
I am on the precipice of uncovering a pattern of crime across London spanning many months and involving many men. The missing paper cannot be a coincidence.
That's preposterous.
My dear fellow, life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man can invent.
Well, life used your newspaper to wipe its posterior, so after that unpleasant discovery this morning, I disposed of it. But in lieu of the Strand, perhaps I can deliver you something equally tantalizing. I have just returned from a patient of mine, Captain Stemwick, who...
No, that will not do. Grab your coat, Dr. Watson. Let us hope nobody has collected the dustbin. I'm close, I know it. I just need one more piece to crack the case.
와, 갑자기 6회 때 존나 많네. 하나 난리 났음. 님들 어떡함? 비가 오기 때문에 여러분들 이제 비옷으로 한번 입어봅시다.
cactus spine. If it gets in your skin, it's awfully tricky to remove, and when laced with poison, the perfect assassination tool. You were mistaken, Dr. Watson. The paper was indeed dirtied, but not how you implied. It's potting soil. See, Watson? The conspiracy is real. Someone tried to poison me.
Poison? You? That's madness.
Get the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here. Sorry, Mr. Holmes. I just sold my last paper.
Blast. Then why are you still here?
Boss pays by the hour. No sense in returning early.
You're a bright child. I presume you see everything that goes on around here?
Nothing gets past me, mister.
Then tell me, did you notice anyone suspicious at my door this morning?
Like the man with your newspaper?
Precisely. What do you know?
I know the value of a shilling.
Dr. Watson,
Cool, now I can take the day off.
did you see what he was up to?
Nah, not really. I saw him approaching your house, but I had a customer. Then there's a loud bang. I ducked down. Not because I was scared, because I wasn't. I had to protect the merchandise. And all I could see was him kneeling at your door.
Which way did he go?
Not
Wambo?
sure. I was distracted by customers. Sorry.
Can you describe the man you saw?
He was carrying a lot of books. Up to his chin they were.
몇 개
Never heard of a
던졌는데요?
well-read assassin.
Looks can deceive. Hence the appeal of disguises. All
야,
right.
77개면 할만할 것 같은데.
Thanks, Mr.
와,
Holmes. Maybe I could
미쳤네.
be your
7회대
eyes and ears
77개라고?
if you have more shillings.
부럽다. 씨발.
Get the strap.
번지가 배달한 책. 번지가 배달한 책은 더 사라진 스트랜드. 신문판 아이의 증언. 번지가 배달한 책.
From that,
Get
Mr.
your
Holmes'
copy of the
murder?
Strand here.
Yes, Barnes. His quirks, but he also has his scruples.
Not every pawn knows it's part of a game. Are you able to help me?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
I could hardly imagine anything more macabre. Mr. Barnes, a word. Oh, for goodness sake.
Who goes there?
Sherlock Holmes. Now will you please...
Mr. Holmes. Golly, I did not see you coming.
Would you care to answer some questions for me?
Well, I wish I could, but I am deep in the weeds with work. How about we reschedule in a month or two?
Come now, Mr. Barnes. It will only take a moment.
Really deep in the weeds with important things. Well, help yourself to any book. Just take it and pay later. I trust you, Mr. Holmes.
Barnes doesn't seem like himself. Why is he acting this way?
You're asking the right questions, Doctor. Let's find a way to coax him out. So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy? Basics of cryptoanalysis. Cryptography in Egypt. It appears Barnes has an interesting hobby. In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is. The finest view London has to offer. An improvised stand, but it does make the flowers more visible.
와, 100개이네. 이야, 미쳤네.
The ladder is broken, recently, judging by the freshness of the wood. Hello there. What's your name?
Lily, I know, not very original.
Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses?
Our national emblem. God save the Queen.
Familiar spine? Is this what I found in my dustbin? It must take patience and care to produce a bloom so beautiful.
I imagine so. I merely sell them.
pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something.
Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
Mrs. Fleming, you look particularly lovely today. Is there a reason?
Does a woman need a reason to look or feel beautiful?
No, but your distant look suggests you seek one man's gaze in particular.
Who told you that?
Nobody. Merely a keen eye and some simple deduction.
Well, I'll kindly ask you to keep your keen eye to yourself, Mr. Holmes.
I'll be off.
I don't know anything about this, sorry.
One of these things is not like the other.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a devil to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless, though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break. Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller.
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I'd follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
It seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right. Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller. Are you sure you're asking the right person? I'm just a flower seller. I'm afraid I can't help with that, Mr. Holmes.
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes. No, not really. Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course, but we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
Yes. Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog, and most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy, so we see each other. Actually, we once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he approached, but since then, we've never spoken. I often see him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would etch such longing onto his face.
Perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
The weather is dreary, isn't it? To be fair, my flowers could use the rainfall.
내일 보려고. 내일 아침에 보려고.
Mr. Barnes, I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't
와,
see you
파란데.
behind the door.
84개래.
You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer. I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled.
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
All right, then.
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus and your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
Oh, it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
As in most things in life, truth is the answer. Cease with the abstruse signals and anonymous gifts, and simply talk to the woman. What is the worst that can happen? She rejects you, and you are freed from this endless purgatory.
That... Yes, you are correct, of course. I do have a slight tendency to overthink things. Thank you.
So, at last, we return to the matter of the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally. I am a bookseller. I have a subscription to every magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation
전상현도 존나 잘하네.
and
Yes, okay. Just give me the paper. Come, Dr. Watson. Let us put this matter behind us.
Farewell, Mr. Barnes. I hope to hear good news about you and Mrs. Fleming.
let me know if there's any way I can make it up to you. Tell you what, tomorrow's edition of The Strand is on me.
Well, that was an utter waste of time.
아, 홈런 쳤어?
Assassination did
와.
seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it.
아닌데? 플라이아웃 아니야?
Something you wish to say, Doctor?
왜 사기채!
Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill-applied...
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one.
Truly?
Indeed. Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But
It's brilliant. Let's go.
oh, good. Well, his house is
비디오
nearby.
판독관을.
Come.
김이나.
Not much further now.
미안합니다. 아, 나 게임해야 돼. 카미르님 반갑습니다.
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my
게임
altercation with
집중하자.
Inspector
게임 집중.
Lockhart? Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it.
오!
The same thing I tell anyone
대박.
seeing a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen.
진짜 쳤다.
Forgive the intrusion.
최은성
Captain
아니고
Stenwick,
김이나
this is
진짜
my colleague
쳤다.
Sherlock Holmes,
야,
the consulting detective I told you about.
미쳤다.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my
Wow.
missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. And it's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
Why has the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away
와,
from
존나
the master
너무하네.
is
하인?
priority. That said, if we find Kimmy here breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick.
미쳤다.
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony. Then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
Tell me about Kimmy here.
He's foreign. A Maori. All the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen, and as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English. Never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
와, 기아 좀 잘하길래
Is
안
there
될 줄
any
알았는데,
reason
와.
Kimmy here may have left?
I should think
힘들었다,
not.
힘들었어.
He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
Did Kimmy here make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled with some money on his person.
No, no. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
I take it this is the first time Kimmy here has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint.
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
와 진짜 에반데. 아무리 그래도 그렇지. 쓰레기요. 하긴 우리나라도 이런 거 있지 않았었어요? 종제도 있지 않았었어요?
The rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney. Could have left these tracks. They seem fresh. This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right. A scrap of Hessian. These were sturdy boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them. Heavy chemical odor. Lend me your nose, Doctor.
Ah, I'll never forget that smell after my time in Afghanistan. That's an opioid, Mr. Holmes, a narcotic.
Button chops. The remains of a meal. The ashes are long since cold. Clothes made of Hessian. Is Stenwick really so miserly? A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called. No air coming through it. Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here. A small Navy spyglass. Looks like a knee print. Chewing tobacco. A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots. Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book.
가서 물어봅시다 이제. 특이한 열쇠 구멍을 가진 열쇠. 자물쇠. 이거 좀 신기해요.
The door to your garden has an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. Jimmy here and I both had a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden.
Do you happen to know Kimahir's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest. But I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes.
Is this spyglass familiar?
I don't recognize it.
Could it be Kimahir's, perhaps?
I doubt it. I never saw him with it, nor could I suggest how he might have come by it.
Has Kimahir ever indulged in tobacco?
No, the man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Kimahir's expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco. Where on earth are you going with this? I thought you were meant to be intelligent. Where on earth are you going with this?
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahir's?
Yes. I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting.
이제 다시 가서 확인해 보자. 뭔가 좀 바뀐 게 있을 거예요.
Someone moved a cart to this spot and then took it elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden.
아, 실수했네.
Surveilling from afar, the intruder waited for a window of opportunity. When Kimahir went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped narcotics down the chimney pipe, then blocked it with a cloth. Kimahir inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass. In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart. The final challenge was opening the garden door. Luckily for our intruder, Kimahir had the key in his shack.
You'd best have found something by now, gentlemen.
I found the residue of narcotics in Kimahir's brazier. There are several explanations, perhaps your servant's recreational interest, or an attempt at poisoning.
Cut to the chase, Mr. Holmes.
I fear that someone may have spied upon Kimahir, likely the owner of the spyglass I found earlier. It appears they were watching for some time, as there was an impressive amount of chewing tobacco on the ground.
And your point?
You said that you checked the shack earlier. Did you notice the cart tracks near it? Now, one ought to expect a servant to make regular use of such a thing. Indeed, I would have overlooked the detail were it not for the cart's absence. If, as you say, Kimahir never leaves your estate, then where did it go?
I expect answers from you, Mr. Holmes, not questions.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer, Captain. Kimahir was abducted by the owner of the spyglass. When your servant fell asleep, he slipped a narcotic into Kimahir's brazier to make him sleep even more soundly. In order to carry a man as large as Kimahir, the intruder stole the cart and rolled him right out of your garden.
Now, hold on. All this simply to tell me what I already know? Why haven't you found him yet?
I only arrived a moment ago. It is, frankly, incredible that I have already deduced so much.
Every second you dawdle here, waiting for me to stroke your ego, is another second wasted. I'm not interested in the how, the why, or the who. I am only interested in recovering my investment. Spare me the claptrap, boy.
새끼 하는 말
And
보소.
go and fetch
존나
my
죽방
servant.
존나 세게 때리고 싶다. 프란시스 은가로 빙의해갖고 쓱박쓱박 양쪽으로 두 방 세 대씩 때리고 싶네. 그래도 됨?
Truly, there is no better evidence of a man's nature than the way he treats those who help him. And you, sir, are a brute. The cruelty of your ignorance about the Maori people, your selfish attitude to a man's kidnapping.
The point is, Captain, we're telling you this for a reason. The intruder fled through the garden door, and we need a key to follow his trail.
Well, then you should have led with that. Here you go. I hope you'll return soon with good news. And in the meantime, please teach your companion the art of brevity.
그건 좀 맞지. 씨발. 새끼 말이 너무 많아요. 죽방 한 대 쓱박 존나 세게 때려야 돼.
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
Yes, it really not very hard.
Unnaturally bent legs, yet they look to be a design choice. Seems to be for me. A treasure hunt. Used to do lots of those in my childhood for myself and...
Is it a call for help? A bad joke?
or both. Better not risk leaving this matter ignored, don't you think?
와 근데 이것도 궁금한데? 이거 먼저 한번 가볼까?
I should have worn something warmer.
Okay, not just tomorrow. A whole week's work.
이 사건이 끝났어도 이 자질구레한 부스러기가 너무 많이 남네. 어디냐면 이게 봐봐요. 책 파는 곳에서 이쪽으로 가고 왼쪽으로 가는 거라잖아요.
A model of a homely room and fireplace. Chimney bears a peculiar form, like it's meant to have something put inside. Looks like a factory to me. Wonder what could get the gears inside moving. Looks like putting something in the slot may get the gears inside to move. A small minecart. Endearing, if disturbing. Children's clothes, judging by the size. Padlocks have names etched onto them. Anne, Tom, Charles. What a grim view. May I ask for your assistance?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Is this familiar to you?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
여기가 중앙이야. 여기서 좀만 더 가면 여기는 뭐지?
Get the strand. Get your copy of the strand here.
아우, 존나 아프네. 여기는 책방. 책방에서 나와서 이쪽으로 가야 바깥 해안인가?
What does it say? No seams or torn fabric on this doll. Likely one-legged by design.
번거롭지만 다시 돌아가야 돼. 이걸 찾기 위해서. 어디냐면 이게 여기 있어요. 이 망가진 수레 옆에 아님? 아, 아님 말고. 얘도 아니고. 얘 여기네.
A miner with a sooty face, at least in doll form. A miner with a sooty face, at least in doll form. What's this? Could you help me?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
Tom. Anne. Charles. Last doll seems recently made. John, Charles, Anne, and Mary.
너무 불쌍하고.
Not sure I like the treasure hunt's ending.
Could we really have saved her, Holmes?
No. Solving this crime is beyond my reach. It is society who must work on sparing children from death by hard labor.
다시 가자. 이 의뢰한 사람이 존나 꼴 보기 싫어도 어쩌겠어. 돈 벌어야 되는데. 뭐냐 방금?
Sturdy rope, professionally tied in a Portuguese bowline. This knot is often used by sailors to create a bosun's chair. Roy Soulsby. That be the name of our man. A strange substance. I have my suspicions based on the color and consistency. But would you care to hazard a guess, Doctor?
Well, it's odorless, but from the way it absorbs water, I'd say saltpeter.
Then we're in agreement. Well done. Wheels picked up grass along the way. Kimahir's cart, I gather. A large pile of horse droppings. Many cigarette butts. Someone stood here for hours. There was a cab waiting here. Our abductor slipped in and then off into the night. the Strand proved not so useless after all. The saltpeter accident. Doctor, do you recall?
존나 어렵네.
Of course. The footwear, the spyglass.
Indeed. We shall need to take a cab there.
다 했겠지. 야, 가자 그냥. 설마 안 한 게 있겠어.
Where to, Gav? The port of London, please. I will show you where to stop.
Mr. Holmes, what a compelling mystery we have stumbled upon. Perhaps I have the premise of my next novel.
On
와.
kidnapping does not a
야,
story.
또 연장 가는데. 와, 야, 너무 어려운데.
Black cat crossed before
야,
us.
다음에 누구냐? 아야.
Omen.
Did not take you for the
다음에
superstitious
누구야?
Doctor. Such things are mere fantasies, tricks of a feeble mind. One imagines
아, 못
that
보겠다.
one's
하나
keep
야구.
a
아,
surer footing in reality.
Perhaps before the war, my
돌아버리겠네.
time abroad was difficult. Once I came across an Afghan, bleeding, who I could not save. He pressed a rosary into my hand.
어이, 놀리지
A
말라고.
gift, he said, so as to gain God's favor.
와,
After that,
좋겠다.
Dr. Watson,
yes, well, I shan't get into details, but sometime later I found myself lost in the desert. Dehydration set in, and things grew ever more dire. The
아,
man's words came to me. I said a prayer and placed the rosary on a rock. A gift to gain God's favor.
and you were rescued.
Yes. An attachment of
아웃인데?
soldiers found me.
To whom I'm grateful. Without their diligence, you would not be standing here, and I would not have this case.
I'm sure you have another explanation prepared, Mr. Holmes, but I think I shall cling to the occasional superstition all the same.
To each his own, Dr. Watson. So long as it does not interfere with my
Wow.
methods, do it.
와,
We must press on, cat or no cat. The question remains, why abduct Kimmer here?
야, 지렸다. 와, 근데 존나 이러면 좀 할만하지. 1, 2루 주니까. 야, 안타만 크게 안 맞으면 된다. 솔직히. 홍종표? 야, 설마 홍종표한테 맞겠어? 설마 아니겠지?
Excuse me, just one question. I think I can help you. Is this familiar to you?
It's a shame I can't answer your question.
Oh, hardly a reputable establishment.
I've seen worse. Greetings, miss. I'm hoping you can help us.
We shall soon see.
My colleague and I are seeking a burly man, above average height, with workman's boots.
Half my customers, then. Your description hardly narrows things down.
Your clothes are already tight, and soon they won't fit at all. How far along are you?
와, 야 이거 풀 카운트 될 것
How did you
같은데.
know? Are you a doctor?
In a manner of speaking.
He's not. He merely has the ego of one. I apologize, miss. Mr. Holmes is fond of his observations, but I am the doctor here.
와,
Do you need any help?
I'm fine, thank you. Would rather not discuss my condition, nor let word of it spread.
야 몸 쪽에다 한 방만. 아,
Doesn't look like anything to me.
What do you know about this poster?
A foreign woman asked to put it up. She's plastered them all over the port.
Any clues as to her whereabouts?
None. It was hard to understand what she was saying.
Are you familiar with a Roy Soulsby?
Roy Soulsby? I know the name. He's not one of my regulars.
야
My
진짜
guess is that he
바깥쪽으로
works somewhere
하면
around here.
무조건 3루 쪽으로 안타 칠 것 같은데.
I heard tell of a recent explosion in the port. What do you know of it?
Ah, yes. Something exploded
설마,
in the ship's
설마.
cargo hold. Caused a terrible
바깥쪽은
blaze.
아니겠지.
The sky was red with smoke till morning.
Where precisely did it occur?
몸
The ship sank near
쪽으로,
the third pier,
몸 쪽
next to the
아래로.
dockyard.
야, 안 치네. 와. 와, 좋됐다. 야. 망했다.
It appears that the saltpeter explosion rattled the locals. Can't blame them for staying at home.
Help me, please.
I can't help you with this.
와, 누구냐? 이창진? 와, 이창진 왜 이렇게 잘 치냐? 야, 밥 먹고 공만 치네. 오, 야, 큰일 났습니다. 밥 먹고 공만 쳐요. 됐다.
Coffee won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
May I ask you something?
I wish I could be of help, but I can't. Sorry.
미쳤다. 말로 홈런 치는 거 아니지?
Excuse me, just one question.
I wish I could be of help, but I can't. Sorry. The coffee won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
와.
coughing won't go away. The doctor's too close.
Is there a doctor? Man is very sick here. Do you like to watch?
Sounds as though those people will need my help.
The coughing won't go away. The doctor's too
Almost no fish the last couple of days.
Hello, this is Dr. Watson. Help me, please.
Sorry, sir. Can't help you.
Freshly dug up treasures, it seems.
Everything ends up in a river.
와.
It's a good thing these people take something.
야 이거 볼넷으로 끝나는 거 아니야? 됐다. 24개밖에 안 던졌는데 이렇게 공이 막 날아다니지.
The water has a curious whitish tinge to it. The subject is hyperventilating. He has a pale face and dilated pupils. Dilated pupils, decolorized skin, necrosis. What do you make of this, Doctor?
All signs
야
point
끝났다
towards
끝났다.
poisoning. It could possibly be due to chemicals. I won't jump to any conclusions yet.
The coughing won't go away, and the doctor's too pricey.
It's a large harbor. If our kidnapper is hiding. Here, finding him won't be easy.
Pile of rotten food. It carries danger, but not of the kind that we witnessed.
두 번, 야, 세 번 더 유도할 수 있을 것 같은데 그래도.
Almost no fish the last couple of days.
아 근데 게임 해야 되는데 죄송합니다. 와 하나 야구 미쳤네. 와. 와. 숨 넘어갔어. 몸이 아프고. 야. 연장 갔다. 씨발.
How can I help? I could try and flag someone down.
야 저걸로 무슨 수로 보냐? 어우.
Gruesome. It's been decomposing for weeks. If this were the origin of the disease, it would have started sooner than a few days ago. The waterway goes under the buildings. We'll need to find other open sections in order to continue our search. Hello, lad. Is this where I may find Dea?
You read the poster? Yes? You know where my brother Girves is?
Sadly, no. Well, not yet.
와.
Where did you last see Girves?
He worked at a, warehouse. This man, Roy Solby, gave him the job. He paid him a necklace.
Do you still have the necklace that Soulsby gave to Girves?
Girves left it near the, shrine. I tried to sell it to buy medicine, but no one wanted to buy.
How would you describe this Soulsby?
He was big and strong. He had a big scary eye.
Scary, you say?
Yes, like it was made of metal.
I want to speak to Dea. Is she around?
Amma, my mother, she got sick after the fire. Big red smoke. She couldn't breathe, so I took her to the doctor. Now I am in charge.
Don't go anywhere.
I miss Gervais. Do you think he's okay?
This cheap pendant looks like silver, but it's only made of tin. No surprise the boy couldn't sell it.
I should have helped Amma put out the posters. If she hadn't been in the smoke so long, maybe she wouldn't be sick.
The coffin won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
근데 이 다음부터 문제라니까. 하나 야구는 이 다음부터 답이 없음. 누구 올려야 돼? 이 상황에서. 죄송합니다. 아야 게임 집중해. 게임 집중해. 정신 차려. 18. 미안합니다. 으아. 여기가 하루야? 지도를 한번 봐봅시다. 저주받은 인가? 이게 뭐?
Have you ever heard of a man with a metallic eye?
I've seen him even. Dirty Summers is the name. A nasty lout with a silver ball in place of a missing eye.
I shudder to ask, but where does one find a Dirty Summers?
He likely signed on with a ship. I am not one to spy on others, let alone him.
I see.
My advice, keep away from him.
The coffin won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
Almost no fish the last couple of days.
Ma Dalton swears she saw ghosts in Warehouse 2. The coppers even went over there. Must be serious.
Moskva. Sounds like this ship was from the east.
My money is on a loose cigarette or a discarded match. One careless throw, and boom. If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
Can I ask you a question?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
Are you able to help me?
Ugh, I'm sorry, but I don't know anything.
sorry about my English. I try hard, but...
야, 어디로 가는지 알았어. 여기 강의 중간에 보이는 이 조그만한 부분을 끝까지 올라가라, 그 말인 것 같은데.
A recent cart crash. The fish's scales have decolorized. What a disaster.
패널.
Phenol, a dangerous substance often used as a sanitizer, coming from Spade Chemicals. Is this familiar to you?
I think I can help you.
창고 또 각각 다 들어갈 수 있는 거 아니겠지? 또 그러면 또 난리도 아닌데. 8번 8번 원료창고 3번 2번 1번 6번 7번 4번 12번 11번
May I ask for your assistance?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Help me, please.
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Good evening, Constable. I heard some people talking of ghosts in this warehouse.
Gossips, all of them. An old lady neighbour saw some lights and ghostly shapes in the middle of the night. She heard music too. Turns out this was the warehouse of Grandpa Kujak. He owned a business with theatre props for scary shows. I went in and... well, it is a bit creepy. But I think it was probably just some kids fooling around.
Do you mind if I take a look inside?
Not at all. It's like Madame Tussauds, only worse. I'll be on the beat round the pub for the rest of the night. Damned explosion. Good night, sir.
야, 이 근처 어딘 것 같은데. 와, 존나 복잡하네. 참. 봐봐. 4. 스페이드 여기 저인 것 같은데. 개멋있갱이. 여기네.
Barrels of phenol from your company ended up in the canal. It has poisoned people. You will need to clean it up properly. Otherwise, we will inform the authorities.
What the? We will call the cleaning brigade immediately. I hope this can stay between us.
됐다.
The coughing won't go away and the doctor's too close.
What are you looking at? You like to watch how a man suffocates.
Gentlemen, the doctor here and I have found the source of the contamination. Spade Chemicals will take care of it.
That's pretty good news. But how long will it take? And what about our friend? Will someone pay for his treatment?
Pressurize the company. But for now, get rid of the stained clothes and rinse any phenol-affected skin. No one else should touch the canal today.
Thank you, we'll do that. Let's go with the chief doctor for help.
와, 근데 존나 불쌍하다. 싸느사한테 어떻게 해결한다는데? 물어보자.
What can I get you? After the incident the other day, it seems customers.
스팀에서요? 예, 내일 될 걸요?
Staying at home.
우크라이나 개발자들이 만들었대요. 사실 잘은 모름.
I don't believe in ghosts. I did when I was a kid.
An effective contraption. It still works.
네, 게임이 존나 단조로워서 호불호 존나 많이 갈리기 때문에, 그리고 어려워요. 존나 어려워요. 몰라, 내가 머리가 멍청해서 그런 걸 수도 있는데 좀 많이 어려워요. 그 점 이해하십시오. 좀 많이, 진짜 많이, 심각하게. 몰라, 나만 어렵나?
They opened the casket and left marks. A herbal odor with an acylic base. Liquor? Who is this intended to scare? Who is this intended to scare?
장난친 것 같은데. 내가 볼 때는.
Phosphorus used recently. Somebody had fun. Several crates are missing. Bottles of various shapes and sizes. I detect a mix of chemicals and aromas. No brand or markings. It looks like a bulk product. A small cart left those tracks. That's most likely the ghost the old lady saw through the window. Inspired by the legend of Sleepy Hollow. Somebody played with phosphorus to give the illusion of ghosts or ectoplasm. In reality, they were here to mix a few ingredients and prepare a solution of some sort.
야 그래 차라리 교체 안 하는 게
They took a
낫다.
box hidden inside the
빌 받았을 때
casket,
가자.
and they left through that gate with a small cart.
아 야 근데 존나 불안한데.
Dr. Tippett's electric pectobrain. Patent medicine of the future.
This is a patent medicine. A quick fix at an expensive price that drags the patient slowly into death.
Excuse me, just one question.
Oh, you are fortunate. I will help you.
Can I ask you a question?
I can't help you with this.
The coffin won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
여기인가?
The people here are resilient. Tomorrow it'll all be forgotten.
May I ask for your assistance?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
Is this familiar to you?
I wish I could be of help, but I can't. Sorry.
Where are we? The field hospital? The cart from Warehouse 2.
I can hear the patient suffers with their lungs. The patient has a high temperature and is short of breath.
이거 어떻게 해야 되지? 돌팔이라 해야 되나? 돌팔이? 돌팔이? 아, 어떻게 해야 되지? 아, 뭐지? 도와주려 하는 건가? 사기꾼인가? 표정만 보면 존나 사기꾼 새끼 같은데.
Good evening, sir. Are you the gentleman who sells that intriguing pecto-brain beverage?
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm Dr. Thomas Tippett, and yes, its proud inventor and purveyor.
Are you a doctor? You seem remarkably young.
I'm self-educated. I help people in need around these parts with my medicine.
Helping, as in bringing to the grave?
That is unfair, sir.
와, 이겼다.
The virtues of my invention are to calm the nerves, to stop coughing due to the endless smog, and to help children to sleep.
Has your beverage been tested by your peers or any medical authority? I am a doctor, and it appears that you are playing with people's lives, people who place their trust in you to ease their pain.
People need help, and drugs are expensive. My formula helps, and it's inexpensive. The product is dispensed from.
와, 야 근데 한경기, 야 근데 너무 미안한데. 아, 너무 혹사 아니야? 아, 미안하다.
Do you realize what you are doing? You are playing with people's health.
You are a doctor. Take a look at my product. You won't find
삼성이랑 롯데 져야 되는데.
lithium or any other toxic substances drowned in alcohol and sold freely
삼성
by
졌고.
so-called health professionals.
야, LG 이겨라. LG 뭐 하냐?
Watson, what do you make of this situation?
I'm not sure. Patent medicines can be a scourge, yes, but he is not entirely wrong in practice.
Why the haunted warehouse?
Well, nobody was using it, and people are afraid of ghosts. It kept them away until today. What I do is not entirely legal. but I do help people.
뭐라고? 와, 야 이거 존나 어려운데. 아.
I help up to 50 people here every day. It is working.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
야 근데 이거는 오히려 더 사람들을 죽음으로 내몰아가는 거 아닌가 싶은데. 솔직하게 얘기해야 되는 거 아니야? 저러다 다 죽겠다.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat?
Be careful on the pork, gentlemen. The fog is particularly thick tonight.
The coughing won't go away and the doctor is too pricey.
Are you able to help me?
Sorry, sir, I can't help.
어떻게 해야 될 것 같음 이거? 경찰한테 제대로 얘기해야 돼? 아니면 그냥 냅둬? 다 죽는 거 아니야 이러다? 어떻게 할까? 신고해야 돼? 아, 신고해야 돼. 근데 약값은 존나 비싸잖아. 신고해야 되나 어떻게 해야 되나? 여러분들 어떻게 생각해요? 나 좀 도와줘. 신고? 아.
Constable? My name is Dr. Watson. A man called Thomas Tippett has opened a field hospital nearby and is selling illegal medicine there. He is using Warehouse 2 for his smuggled product. Please stop him.
I knew it was a swindle. Real ghosts don't look like that. I'll check on this crook right away.
좀 썩 내키지 않았어.
you satisfy my curiosity?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
왜냐면 지푸라기라도 잡고 싶은 심정 아닐까? 옛날에 그런 거 있었잖아요. 예전에 암 걸려갖고 그 구충제 먹어갖고 나을 수 있다는 막 그거 소문 돌아갖고 구충제 먹던 사람들 기억나? 아! 너무하노.
It is a shame I can't answer your question.
조선소 같이 생기지 않았어? 근데 진짜 옛날에 막 이렇게 런던 거리 석탄 존나 떼갖고 난리도 아니었다는데 진짜임? 와 이런 데서 숨쉬고 막 살았으면 장난 아니었겠다. 살아남은 사람이 있었으려나? 진짜. 파이어 드래곤님 반갑습니다.
Are you able to help me?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Satisfy my curiosity?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
저건가? 조선소가 좀 특이하게 생겼네. 네 맞지?
Do you know anything about this?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
여기 그냥 기차 역인가? 바로 여기 저쪽 입구란 말이야. 두 개의 문을 지나고 이쪽 두 개의 문을 지나면 되는가? 두 개의 문을 지나고 다시 반대편으로 가보면 창고인지 아닌지 확인할 수 있겠죠? 두 개 하고 창고에서 이쪽으로 돌아갔고 여기 따라 계속 가다가 여기가 왼쪽 위에 여기도 아니고 그러면 여기서 돌아서 쭉 가다가 중앙에서 빠져야 돼. 중앙에서 빠지고 이 두 갈래 길이 어딘지 모르겠어. 저기 사이를 지나가는 건가? 그럼 기찻길 옆인가? 여기가 조선소인가요?
Is this familiar to you?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
조선소가 그냥 배 그 자체는 아닐 거 아니야. 설마 배 그 자체인가? 배 그 자체를 지나가야 되는 건가? 설마 아니겠지. 그냥 얘네들한테 한번 물어보죠.
Excuse me, just one question.
I think I can help you.
그렇지. 삼 번 부두.
Not in the mood, mate. Shoo!
Pardon me, sir. I am looking for Roy.
Oh, not again. Yes, I'm Roy, but I can't help you find your uncle or whoever you've lost.
Now, what makes you think I would inquire about missing people?
You are the fourth person to ask this week. Just because I work at the port doesn't mean I keep track of everyone who comes here.
May I ask what you're doing here?
This is where the ship sank the other day. I'm trying to work out how we'll remove it.
You say we are not the first to ask you about a disappearance. Do you recall anything about those who came inquiring?
I only remember the foreign woman. I didn't catch her name, but those are her posters hanging up everywhere. She has badgered me twice now, but I still don't know nothing.
And this woman can be found?
No clue. She was talking gibberish.
Now, where was I?
Can't help you there, mate. What are you on about? Sorry, doesn't ring a bell. Can't help you there, mate. Sorry, doesn't ring a bell. Can't help you there, mate.
I have been told that you hired Dea's son, Girves, right before he vanished. His brother also said you had a metal eye. What do you make of this?
Tell that him to stop making things up.
Have you seen this before?
My card? Where did you dig that up?
At a crime scene near Baker Street involving a young servant's kidnapping, I might add.
No. Someone used it without my consent. How else would it end up there?
What are you gawping at?
Mr. Soulsby, you know more than you're letting on.
What makes you say that? And how do I fit in all this? Sorry, you lost me there.
Mr. Soulsby, you know more than you're letting on.
What makes you say that?
A man named Dirty Summers was involved in some recent kidnappings across London. He used your name as a cover for his deeds.
What? Really? That doesn't mean I'm involved, though.
Your calling card was found at the crime scene. That's enough to make you a suspect.
You cannot be serious.
와, 야 이거 좆되는 거 아니야? 제발.
And that's before mentioning your gold watch. It's brand new and awfully expensive for a customs officer. Clearly you have found yourself another source of income. I'm sure Scotland Yard will be delighted to investigate further.
All right, stop. Look, it's not as it seems. I did not partake in the kidnappings.
I'm all ears, Mr. Soulsby.
Yes, I know Summers. He paid me to turn a blind eye to his business in the warehouse area. Just that. On my word.
You did not tell me which warehouse he used?
I do not recall. But I used red paint to mark unsupervised warehouses. Ought to be one of them.
What else can you say of Summers?
He is a regular at the Cursed Mermaid. Goes there with his crew almost every evening.
What for?
I don't know. I assumed just for a drink.
또 가서 물어봐야 돼. 근데 얘 나 죽이는 거 아니야? 어떻게 알았지 하고. 세계관이 비슷해서 그런 거 아님? 싱킹시티랑.
Why do I have the feeling that you know more about Dirty Summers than you're letting on?
I have nothing more to add, sir. I failed to follow. Are you finished? I have glasses to wash.
Why do I have the feeling that you know more about Dirty
왜
Summers than
이게
you're
아니야?
letting on?
I have nothing more to add, sir. I failed to follow. Are you finished? I have glasses to wash.
Why do I have the feeling that you know more about Dirty Summers than you're letting on?
I have nothing more to add, sir.
Enough. I have hard evidence that Summers was involved in recent kidnappings across London.
I'm not surprised. So what?
A customs officer, Roy Soulsby, testified that Summers was a regular here. You must know something about his business.
아, 이렇게 순서대로 해야 되구나.
If the lives of the missing do not concern you, then I would urge you to think about your unborn child.
Are you threatening me?
Many people are missing, and the main suspect based himself in your establishment. One word to Scotland Yard and your life takes a turn for the worse. Now, spare yourself the trouble and tell me all you know.
Okay, okay. Summers hired my private room. I think he used it to recruit people, but I haven't seen him in a few days. He paid me cash, so I paid him no attention. Nor did I touch anything inside. Here's the key, go and do what you will. Just leave me out of it.
술집의 개시를 여는 분이라고?
Strange symbols. I don't recognize them.
(12번) 아닌가?
$5. That won't go far. If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie? The hairs on the back of my neck stood up.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it. Doesn't look like anything to me.
What did you see of Summer's work here?
아는 게 하나도
He was
없는데.
recruiting people.
It was like the whole world came through my door. People of all creeds and colours, but always strong, always tall. They seem like workers or journeymen. Beyond that, there's not much more to tell. I took his money and let him be.
And this lasted how long?
Several weeks, I wager. Be careful on the port, gentlemen. The fog is particularly thick tonight.
야, 빨간색 페인트로 표시된 데가 한두 군데가 아니었는데 어디로 가라 되노?
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
Can I ask you a question?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Wrong warehouse. Nothing to see here. Unlikely that this warehouse has the goods. Is this familiar to you?
Sorry, sir. I can't help you.
(12번) 맞지? 처음부터 뭘 12B 중간 크게 살짝 중간 크게 살짝 왜 안 열리지?
Really, Holmes, this ought to be beneath you. As my brother would say, it is for the greater good. The layers of rust will prevent any movement. Good quality, but torn in many spots. Mold. That's why you don't leave sailcloth lying out. are a couple of marks on this end. The scratches are fresh, left by something metallic. This crank saw some use. Well oiled and well maintained. Fit for a crank. It's stuck. No one's used it in a very long time. I can't do it with my bare hands.
야, 저걸 갖고 와야지. 아유, 못 살아. 야, 근데 하나만 껴 있어도 되는 거 아니었어? 저렇게 할 거면 그냥 손잡이만 넣은 거잖아.
A hidden passage, just as I expected.
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
Wait here, Watson, and keep an eye on the doors. I'll scout the premises.
Will do. Be careful down there.
Wait, what's happening?
난리 났음. 오, 이게 뭐냐?
What is this place? Where am I?
이게 뭐지?
Strangely cold. Something is missing. This cannot have been under the port of London all along. Is it an illusion? The only way forward is the abyss. Strangely cold. Something is missing.
야, 런 때리자. 으아.
Phew, I didn't die. It is icy cold and pulsating. My heart, be calm.
이게 뭘까?
somewhere else. How? It's harder to breathe here. What is that? It's like it stares right through me. Head is already spinning. When will this end? There are 2 recesses. There are 2 recesses. My head. What just happened? There are 2 recesses. kind of trickery is this?
한번 돌아가면서 확인해보자. 이 첫 번째 마지막
The stench. A strange stone. It almost feels alive. One down, one to go. Oh, that is truly revolting.
와 존나 어지럽네.
Did I get out?
John? What is it, Holmes?
아, 여기 중에 누구 한 명일 것 같은데. 납치범? 실종자 포스터도 안 통하네.
Watson! Holmes, where are you? Holmes! Holmes! Are you all right?
Fine. Watson, I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
Fine? By Jove, you should have heard the way you called out my name.
It was just a game of shadows.
I'm
그냥 팍
glad.
사가버렸는데?
This place gives me the chills. What are we dealing with?
Something that's finally interesting.
이게 뭐냐?
Cyanosis of the lips, marks on the neck. This man was strangled. His abdomen is severely bloated. Did you hear that, Watson?
존나 무서워.
I hear you.
I've never seen a pattern like this before. Old blood stains. An American passport. Amos Colby. Someone got their hands dirty painting this with blood. At least 24 pendants, all identical and made of tin. It seems made for simple experiments. I wager they could not afford a better set. This box contained a narcotic substance, much like the one in Kimahir's brazier. Black Edelweiss Institute established 17-something.
에델바이스가 뭐 어땠다는 거지?
Kianak, Flegethor, Lebumna, Siaha, Inguft. Finglui, Maglanafa, Cthulhu, Rilia, Waganagal, Fatagan.
What on earth? How is that possible? Someone used mud to draw a cross in a rectangle. These clothes were crudely cut off someone. An American, judging by the style.
머리를 세게 부딪혔나 봐.
Fine rope work, cut by a finer blade. What on earth? Looks like the scribbling of madmen.
이런 사이비 종교 들어가면 난리 날 것 같은.
Deep scratches left in a frenzy.
다 뒤지는 거 아니야 이거? 아 생각만 해도 끔찍하다.
A small bloodstain, but not serious. The strength it would take to carry this crate, let alone break it.
잡혔는데 살아서 나간 거 아니야? 그 거인이? 그렇게까지 생각이 되는데?
Potent. This sensor has more narcotic residues.
와 이거 뭐냐? 으아!
Miserable food, mass produced. These clothes are missing buttons. They were forcefully removed. Dumpra, a staple of lepcha men's attire in Nepal, gathered from dozens of people at the very least.
강압적으로 누군가 뺏었겠지. 살려고 발버둥을 쳤을 거야. 목을 조르진 않았죠. 칼을 썼겠죠. 그리고 여기는 뭐지? 여기서 찌르고 여기서 발버둥 쳐서 넣었는데 여기가 대체 여기가 제일 헷갈린단 말이야. 이건가? 일단 입증해 볼게요. 아, 씨발. 두 개가 망했어. 왜 뭐지? 목을 졸렸다고? 그리고 이거
Many people were brought to this place. Their abductors stripped off their clothes and discarded them in a pile. The prisoners were kept in a soporific trance by the use of narcotics. A few tried to resist, but alas, in vain. After a few days, everyone was stuffed in a crate and sent elsewhere. Only one captive was left behind. He was strangled to death on this altar.
What the hell is happening, Holmes?
Calm yourself.
으아!
Cannot be. What is it? Oh my God. Please tell me we found all we needed to, Holmes.
I think we found a bit more than that.
Yet we have no clue as to where those people have been taken.
And that's where you're wrong, Watson. We have more than enough. I just need to...
물고기를 집어넣은 거임?
How about you pack your suitcase in the meantime, my dear fellow? Just in case. Dr. Watson, how does a trip to Switzerland
가이각스
sound to you?
캐구리님 반갑습니다.
What makes you think we should head there?
It's all about the box with narcotics and Mr. Colby's clue, the cross inside a rectangle. Put two and two together, add a dash of research, and what do you get? The Black Edelweiss Institute in Interlaken, Switzerland. If we hurry, we can still catch
너무
tonight's
무섭고.
train.
으아 미쳤음. 가면 갈수록 막장인데. 야 근데 좀 어렵다. 이거 푸는 게 너무 어려워요. 내가 멍청한 건가? 너무 어렵고.
As grateful as I have been for your company, Dr. Watson, I'm afraid you shall have to investigate Edelweiss alone.
Alone?
님들 내가 킥뷰
You
줄게요.
overestimate my abilities.
Nonsense. You
야
are
킥뷰
a
존나 많다
military
근데
man, a
그나저나.
bastion of British courage.
I'm no such thing. As a doctor, I avoided most combat, save for one dreadful day. My troop was ambushed in a village with innocents caught in the crossfire. Too many to help.
The man with the rosary. He was one of them?
A translator, yes. We were trapped. 6 soldiers and myself. I thought it was the end. But Lieutenant Paget refused to go quietly. The men prepared for a final stand. I rose to follow, but Paget shook his head. He told me to run, that I had other men to save. They charged, and I fled through the rear. So you see, Mr. Holmes, I am a coward.
The logic seems inescapable.
Yes.
You, a surgeon by trade, would have been perfectly useless in that conflict.
What? No.
And how many men have you helped since? Ailments eased, troubles tended?
No more than a handful. Truth be told, I've become somewhat of a recluse.
How many people could you help with 30 years ahead of you? Dozens? Hundreds? Paget was correct. You can cease your self-recrimination.
Holmes, I don't know what to say.
I would start with, I am Dr. John Watson, may I look around? The Edelweiss staff will doubtless be eager to show off their facility to a fellow physician. I have already taken the liberty of sending a letter on your behalf to request a visit.
And what of you?
I shall be pursuing other avenues. Should you see
근데 이름은 참
troublesome or
예쁘다.
improper, simply notify the local authorities. Otherwise, try a little analysis yourself. You know my methods. Apply them.